Hey, and welcome to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, and welcome to this FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast. In today's episode, I'm talking about my own fat loss phase, what I just started as I'm recording this a couple of days ago. And when this podcast episode is coming out, it's been around a week. And I'm in this training, and in this episode, I'm explaining what I'm exactly going to do to lose fat within next 4 or 5 weeks. And it's, to be honest, it has been something that I have been procrastinating a lot, as I feel great and I love the energy I have eating at the maintenance level. And I have been seeing amazing results and improvements in my strength training. So this is something what is always like also fat loss phases. They are hard, and it's very hard to going from maintenance, where I believe I'm pretty good at, as I have been maintaining my scale weight for past years, more or less, without losing. So I'm pretty good at it, but then losing that fat, that's the hardest part. And that's what I have been procrastinating a lot, as I love food. I love enjoying life, feeling good energy. And to be honest, that fat loss phase, it's not so much fun that I would enjoy doing it. But now before summer, there is still a little bit time. So I decided that I try to go for a fat loss phase for at least for 4 to 5 weeks. I will have some kind of planned trips, weekends, long weekends with my friends. So even that was the first thing what I was thinking of myself, that there is this and this event, but I'm going to show that you can actually hopefully make some progress. Even you are living your life, enjoying life, having social events, as those things will always happen at some point in life. And there was I made a poll actually in my Instagram stories, where I'm going to share everything what I'm doing, how things are going, what kind of progress I'm making. And I was asking there before I started this from my followers in Instagram that if I should share this and if I should do it, like, because there are basically a couple of ways how you can lose fat. And I was thinking that if I should do it with tracking accurately, or trying to do it without tracking everything accurately. And majority of the people wanted to see in my story. So I thought that I don't naturally enjoy too much sharing about my foods, what I'm doing day by day, guys. I feel like that my life is so boring. It's a lot of work sitting in front of computer, eating mostly healthy foods, but obviously enjoying also life. And I'm just not some food blogger who is enjoying to post too much about my own foods, as maybe it's because of me, because I don't enjoy seeing somebody else posting some food pictures. That's for me, like, right away, that who cares? So that's just my way of thinking, and that's why I haven't been posting. But now, if it's helping for someone, I'm more than happy to share at least something. Even I'm not going to post every single food what I'm going to eat, but at least some kind of tips and ideas in my Instagram stories. So I hope if you want to see how things are going, what I'm doing, just make sure you follow me in my Instagram and check my stories. I will post there daily how my scale is going to fluctuate. That I know already now that it will go up, it will go down. Now, for example, first day I almost lost 1 kilo of weight. while doing this. But I know that it's even it sounds great. It's not any fat. It's just a lot of water weight, probably eating a lot less carbs and food in general than normally. And I'm curious to see how my energy levels, how they are impacting, and when this challenge is going forward. So like I said, that was almost 90% of people wanted to see what kind of things I'm doing, and also majority, like it was like 70% of people wanted to see how to do it without tracking calories accurately. And that's what I thought also myself, as I'm at the moment I'm not tracking. I have done it. There's a big difference. Like when especially when I'm I'm not trying to lose fat. I'm trying to maintain my weight. I have done it in the past that long that I'm pretty aware of foods, like how many calories they have, how much protein they have, and I have found for myself strategy what I have been able to use on most days, or like I said, maintaining my weight, and that is basically just focusing on having enough fiber, having enough protein, and when those two things are on spot, I have enough dose. I don't have cravings. My energy levels are great, and I'm seeing results in a workouts. So this is what I'm doing on daily basis when I'm not trying to change my body composition. Obviously, when it comes to then losing body fat, it's all about creating that calorie deficit, and there are different ways. What I'm explaining how you can do it, and this is what was I'm going through my thought process. Wow, I decided that what I'm actually going to do, and hopefully this is going to help you also if you are thinking like that. Should you be starting to lose fat, and if you decide to do it, then because there is like so many possibilities. Like the only all common thing, as you probably know, is that you have to create that calorie deficit somehow, and but first, where I get started, I don't start like that. Is just common knowledge that calorie deficit. It's you have to have that, otherwise you are not going to lose any weight, or weight you might lose, but you are not going to lose any fat if you are not in a calorie deficit. But first, when I get started, like as a fat loss, it's a phase. It's not a lifestyle. Like I know I have worked with people who have been kind of dieting or fat loss phase for years, some of them even decades, kind of trying to lose weight since they have been small children. And this is something fat loss. It's not a lifestyle. It's not meant to be something that you should be doing a longer period of time. Like obviously it depends on things like that, how much fat you have to lose, and how is your progress. There are many factors how long it should be, but if I would say that in general, it should never be like, I would say that 12 to 16 weeks, so 3 to 4 months at max, and at one time. And if it's any longer, it can be longer also, especially if you have a lot of weight and fat to lose and you are seeing progress, everything is going well, you can you don't have energy levels are great, you are not feeling that you are restricting too much. It's just that because it's even your goal is to lose more fat, but that is the hardest part. What I'm talking, that you have to take at least some point, you have to take some diet breaks using maybe reverse dieting or just some shorter maintenance periods, that your metabolism won't adapt. Because if you are longer period of time in a deficit, it will adapt, like as our bodies are very good. It's adapting at everything what you are doing. Like if it's not, if I explain it in a running, that's usually simpler to understand, but the principles are same for nutrition and for running. Let's say that you have never been running and you go first time to run, it's going to feel hard. Like let's say that you want to run for 5 kilometers and you will need, let's say 30 minutes to run that for very first time. No, let's say an hour. It's that more like if you have never been running, you won't be able to make it for 30 minutes. But let's say that you need 60 minutes to make 5 kilometers. So you are doing it more often. Then for that same, it might feel hard in the beginning. But then when you are doing it, if you always keep that aim to go for 1 hour for 5 kilometers, at more you do it, you are improving. So your body is adapting, you are getting better. And then it's not, let's say that you need in the beginning, like how many calories you are needing. For example, that in the beginning you might need, let's say, 400 calories because it's really hard. But then as your body becomes more effective, you are needing, if you are not either running for longer or going for faster, you will be needing less calories for that same amount as it becomes easier. And this is how your body is adapting for everything what you are doing. And it's exactly the same thing with nutrition wise and amount of calories. So if you are longer period of time doing same things over and over again, either like if you want to maintain where you are, that's a great way to do it. But if you want to change something and improve also your body composition, lose fat, build muscle, it's you have to be kind of smarter than your body and do things that your body naturally don't want to do. And that's the reason why you have to also in a dieting and fat loss phase decide before. Like this is something what is actually really hard to decide, that how long is that you're going to be that fat loss phase. And for me, I was deciding that it's going to be around 1 month. I started, it was on Wednesday when I decided that it was just like I was snapping my fingers on Tuesday, had a thought about it. And then Wednesday, I was like that, okay, let's go, let's do this. And that is something, but that's, I know it before. So regardless of results, like let's say it's another good example. What I use now, I had a client, Yahir, who we worked on reverse dieting. He was in a situation that he was eating very little calories. Like his maintenance calories should be somewhere like 2,800, and he was eating 1,800, not getting results, anything. And so we fixed his metabolism, everything. We started to raise his calories, used reverse dieting, raised his calories. We cut his maintenance. So he started to eat more and raised his calories week by week, and got his, after a couple of months working together, got his maintenance. He didn't gain any weight. He started to see actually progress in workouts, improving strength, what he didn't see either for months. And after we got, he was increasing calories week by week and got his to a point to 2,700-800, almost what was that, what calorie calculator was giving for maintenance. And there he was able to maintain his weight. We were staying there for a while. And then we were deciding for him if we are going to go for kind of a dramatic mini cut for shorter period of time. But this is some kind of method that I'm not, it's not something what I suggest to do for most people, but for his case, was basically, it was same thing for me, that I had to decide that if I want to go for like kind of more aggressive, shorter period of time, or if I want to go for longer. And he was like that, yeah, let's go, let's try the 1,008, what he was eating earlier. And now we decided, okay, it's going to be then 2 weeks and not longer. After that, we are going to increase calories no matter of results. And first days was like that. After a couple of days, he was coming and said that there is not much progress. And I said, trust the process, keep going. And then end of the week 2, he was like that, holy shit, there is such a huge difference. Seeing in a tape measurements, pictures, scale weight going down, everything like happened like so fast, and he was like so happy. And then he was like that he just want to lose more weight and more fat. And then we were decided, I said, no, we decided that it's going to be 2 weeks. If you want to continue, we can, like, if as energy levels, everything were still pretty good. But we decided we keep going, but a little bit more sustainable way, like increased calories to around 500 deficit. And he's eating now 2,200, 2,300 for next couple of weeks. And then we will see what is happening. But these kind of crash diets, it's, you have to decide before how long it's going to be, and then stick with that plan, and not because it's so tempting always that you start to see results. But the problem is that if you keep going for longer than you initially thought, then you start, your energy levels are going so low, and you might, everything might adapt, and it's not going to be, you will end up then having some cravings, binge eating, stuff like that, what is not whole point, and it's going to then make more harm than good. So keep those. If you decided that was what was my thought process also going through this, that if I want to do it like a really like a short period of time, like let's say that for example, my maintenance calories, they are around 3,000. So I was thinking that if I would go, let's say, minus 1,000 calories for 2 weeks, I would be able to create if I count it accurately, it would be like 14,000 calorie deficit within 2 weeks. And for same results, I will get if I stay, let's say, around minus 500 calories for 4 weeks. And it's going to be exactly same amount, at least on a paper. Obviously, how your body is responding, that's a different story. But more or less, it's going to be as it's a maths in the end. Obviously, there are many other factors that are affecting all those numbers. But my thought process was that I'm not. I love my energy. I love to work out. I want to see, because I know that if I cut my calories super low, I'm going to be so hungry all the time and only thinking about food. Even it's going to be a shorter period of time. But I thought that for me, I rather reduce a little bit, go for like a bit longer period of time and more sustainable way, and then we will see how things are going. So this was my thought process when I was going through this, and I decided for myself that it's going to be that 4 to 5 weeks maximum, and not longer. And then next question was that how I'm going to limit my calories. So there are many ways. Like if you watch social media, there is what is pretty popular at the moment is time restrictive eating. As it's a simple, like you make rules for yourself that you are either skipping breakfast, not eating after 7 p.m. or whatever. And these are all helping, but it doesn't only that you are limiting your eating times. It won't help, because if you eat then rest of the time, whatever you want, it doesn't mean that it's just a simple way to reduce your total calorie intake. And that was for me was something, for example, that time restrictive eating, even that is a pretty simple way to restrict your calories. It wouldn't be, I love my breakfast. I love eating in morning. And as I'm having some group workouts with my FitMitTuro family here in Italy, I'm pretty late at home when I come home from work and I'm hungry. I'm starving at 8 o'clock in the evening. So I need to have something to eat also a bit later. So that was not really like an option for me. And but if you are a person who doesn't enjoy too much eating breakfast or late at night, it might be an option. But for me, it was not an option. Then other option like that you are trying to reduce something, like if it's for someone is sugars, someone reducing carbs, somebody is trying to reduce fats or processed foods. Those are always good ways for reducing the total calorie intake. But for me, I have done in the past, I have had a couple of times, I was 1 month without any sugar. And I knew that if I'm going to that road again, the only thing was I remember those times, like obviously they were working, they were bringing results. But the only thing what I was thinking when I said that I can't have any sugars, I was thinking that when I can have finally my chocolate or cake or something sweets, so that I felt like that I don't want to be in that situation again, that I'm thinking all the time when I'm allowed to do something, what feels like that. And then, feeling really bad if for some reason somebody is offering or there is some chocolate available and I can't have it. I don't have that option, or I'm breaking my own rules. So then I would feel guilt and shame about not keeping promises, what I made for myself. So that was kind of my thing. And then I made, as I know that for myself, I think I'm pretty much aware of my current habits and where my problem is. And if you really think, I'm pretty sure also where the problem is. And as that is not usually the issue, exactly, like most of the people, especially if you have tracked your calories at some point, where the problem is. And if you never have tracked your calories, I highly recommend you to start doing it, at least make a promise for yourself to do it for a week or two. So you are educating yourself with the foods you are eating on a daily basis. and what you love eating. And so then you learn about your portion control, how much different foods have, how many calories they have. And then next time you are already a lot more aware what you are going to eat. And you know that, okay, if this is my breakfast, how many calories I have, how much protein it has. And then it's helping you to make that at least you know what it means, how many calories are. And then it's the other story. Different story is that what you are actually going to do with that information. As some days, you just want to enjoy something, even you know how many calories it has. But that's at least the first step, that you know how many calories. And that is what is kind of helping me also, even I'm not tracking accurately at the moment calories, but I know pretty much foods what I'm eating on a regular basis, that how many calories they have. And that is helping to make those decisions a lot easier. So because obviously most accurate way how to do it, especially if you are trying to change your body composition, is that you are tracking accurately everything you are putting into your mouth. And then you are learning and knowing exactly how many calories you are eating. And then it's all about consistency and staying on track. So my main problem, what I know, that if I want to lose fat, I need to reduce my snacking, as I love snacking. We have so good. I love chocolate. I love cakes and sweets, and even I'm not eating a lot of them, but I eat often, and especially evening while watching TV or Netflix or something, I snack some. We have here some delicious tarallis or that kind of stuff. What I love snacking, even I'm not actually hungry, and that I know that if I want to make some fat loss progress, I need to restrict those, at least in some way. So this was and the other problem what I have is that I love food. I love eating. I'm not picky eater, so I eat kind of everything, and I eat a lot of it. So that is my other issue. Even it's mostly healthy, but it's just too much. And this is something what is I'm really bad at leaving something behind. So this is something what is coming from my childhood. Like my mom always told me that you have to finish everything. You can't leave something behind, and that you don't want to waste food and stuff like that. And it's still following me. It's funny thing. It's following me like 30 years, 25 years after being a child, being now 41, but still struggling with those, how your parents, like obviously my mom didn't mean anything bad, as that was the way how she was educated at the time, but still having these problems, kind of feeling guilt when not finishing something and eating way too fast. As like my wife is saying that sometimes it looks like that you think that you will never get food again. And this was something what I know, that if I'm able to limit those two things, like that nighttime snacking and eating a little bit slower, more mindful, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have a big success. And I was then going through that what kind of rules, because I don't want to make some completely that I'm not allowed to do eat sugars or eat after 7 p.m. and then you are 5 after 7, you are eating something that fuck me, and then you think that you ruined everything. So I made a couple of rules for myself. I know that they are not going to work every single time, especially because that eating faster, it's a learning process. It takes a lot time, and I made a basically checklist for myself for that mindful eating, that what I'm trying to practice on every meal. And I know that I'm going to fail. Like very first day, I had basically 3 meals, and one of them I forgot to do it. I didn't remember to do it, even it was fresh in still my mind. But I understood after that, oh wow, I was way too fast now. So what means mindful eating? It means, if you don't know what I rules, obviously your rules can be totally different. What I'm doing every time is that I'm making sure that I had a glass of water before I start to eat. So why this is helping? It's helping to feeling that give you a little bit fullness, make sure that you are actually hydrated and there is already something in your stomach. Then when I'm deciding to eat, that I'm asking my question that am I actually hungry or if I'm just bored? And this is, it's really hard to understand. It takes some time that, because, if you are especially at night watching TV, for me, often it's not that I'm really hungry. It's just that, you are bored, you are feeling comfortable watching TV and it's just something, you put something into your mouth. But I think if I would just put something in my mouth, I wouldn't mind what it is. And then kind of third thing is that I'm happy what I decided to eat. As sometimes, you are eating something and then you are after, like, I feel like that, holy fucking moly, what I just did I really need it? And so I asked that question, that am I going to be happy if I eat it? And it was had a conversation with one of my coaching clients, and she said that was earlier, like her situation was is that she's going to go for a holiday next week, and she has been struggling with yo-yo dieting for her life, many years, and she said that earlier she would do that. She would not eat anything, like restrict about everything, so that she can earn that right to be in holiday and eat a bit more there. So she's thinking that would be a great strategy. And she said that yesterday she's going now on 2 days to vacation holiday, and she was craving for pizza, and then she was thinking that she was okay, that she's actually hungry, and then she made a decision that okay, I'm going to have a pizza. And then she had a pizza. She was hungry. She was craving for pizza. She had a pizza, and now she felt so good about it. That was earlier. She could never ever allow herself to eat 2 days before going for vacation, when you know that it's not her nutrition is probably not going to be optimal, but allowing herself to eat that pizza when she actually wanted that. And it was not that she was hungry. She was feeling that she wanted to have it. Even she knows that it's still, inside of her, more or less calories. It's not something what she can't have. And that is that mindset shift what you make in your head, and I'm sure that when she's going to holiday, she don't have that kind of cravings that give me everything. I'm going to finish and eat all pizzas and burgers as I haven't been eating for a week. Now that I finally deserve to be here and eat everything I want. So that urge don't be there anymore. If she feels like that she want to have some drinks, enjoy foods, enjoy vacation, she can have it, and she knows that how to do it actually in moderation without then feeling guilt after that, following that restriction before, and most likely it would happen after also. And now she have learned that when she's going to vacation, she's going to enjoy everything what she wants, just paying attention to these mindful eating tips. And then after that, she don't need to restrict anything. She's just going back on track, as you don't make too much progress within 1 week, but you are not losing it either 1 week. So this is something what I also like to use for myself, that I'm actually happy with the decision, like that if I'm not sure, I think it at least for a little bit, if I really want it. And if the answer is yes, I'm happy with it also after, then I go for it. Then other big thing is that I'm sitting. So eating without any distractions. So this is something that, I don't want to watch my phone or television or anything, or eat when I'm standing, as that I have to commit. I'm guilty also sometimes eating when on a go kind of, and then, it have to be fast. It have to go fast. But when you take that time that you are actually sitting, even it's some small snack, you are sitting, eating, trying to enjoy actually how the food is tasting, it makes it so much more enjoyable, and you are eating a bit less and not that fast that, you just don't even realize that you ate something, and then you get that feeling of fullness maybe 15-20 minutes after, and then you are like, oh, why I need to have it. So, and then other thing related for this is that I try to stop eating when I start to feel full. Like I'm pretty sure you have heard, like it's 80% what it should be full. So how to know if it's 75 or 80? That's almost impossible to know. But when you usually, if I think that I eat, I still think that I'm still hungry. I need to eat more. But now when I start to feel little bit full, I kind of stop myself, and now it's enough. And then I need to wait for 15 minutes. And if I'm still hungry after 15 minutes, I'm allowed to eat more, but not kind of eat at one sitting too fast, too much. And this is something what I know that I will be struggling a lot within next weeks. But this is what I aim for, to stop and use this kind of rule for myself, that if I'm still hungry, then I eat more. But first I need to wait. And other thing is that what I try to practice at every meal is that I put my fork down and take sip of water after each mouthful. So it gives me time. It takes that process of eating a bit longer, and gives me that feeling of fullness, hopefully a bit earlier as I'm having a water. I'm taking a little bit longer time to chew actually food, and not just swallowing it down from my throat without even tasting it, just getting my stomach full as fast as possible. So these are kind of strategies for that mindful eating, what I'm practicing. And like I said, it's not going to be nowhere near perfect. And I know that I will forget it many times, but I have decided that no matter what, even if it's a whole day, couple days, when I'm going to forget it, it's always that next meal is going to be next chance to get back on track. And that's what I'm going to follow. So, and then for snacking, it's like I said, I kind of was thinking like that, no sweets, no snacking, like that would be the easiest way. But I know that I want to have something. And so then I was thinking that what kind of rule I could make for myself that I feel that it's somehow limiting my snacking, but at the same time giving me freedom to eat foods what I enjoy. If I want to have some piece of chocolate, piece of cake or something after dinner, or my tarallis or whatever I decide to eat, I made a rule that I'm going to limit my snacking after dinner for 150 calories. So how I know what is 150 calories if I'm not tracking. So that's the point, that at least for those, even I'm not tracking all my main meals, I know for calories like that 150 calories. It's not too little. If I was thinking that if I go for 100, but 100 is so little that I know that it's going to be, I'm not going to be able to stick with that plan. But with 150, I feel that for me, it's kind of sustainable. It gives enough freedom, but it's not going overboard. As my maintenance, like I said, if my calorie deficit calories are 2,500, it's giving me still enough freedom to do it in a way, just sustainable way. And for example, yesterday I had a protein pudding with 150 calories, 200 grams of pudding, 20 grams of protein altogether. And other options, what I know that I will be eating a lot, my favorite foods, my favorite snacks, if I'm still hungry, especially later at night, it's going to be some kind of Greek yogurt, which if I have some low or zero fat option, it's like a 60 calories per 100 grams with 10 grams of protein. So it's helping me to give that even more protein, and I can have a lot of it. And if I put there, for example, strawberries, what I love, and at this time here in Italy, they are fresh, they are really tasty. So strawberries, they have around 30 calories per 100 grams. So if I want to have 150 calories, I can have 150 grams of Greek yogurt, 90 calories, 200 grams of strawberries. So I have kind of half kilo of food what I can put into my stomach to feel fuller, with some protein in it and some fiber from strawberries, which are making me feel fuller with relatively less calories. Obviously, if I want to have a piece of chocolate, or like yesterday when I started my journey, my lovely neighbor, old woman, was coming like it was after 1 hour I announced my fat loss phase that I'm going to start, and she's coming and knocking the door and asking that she have just made a fresh apple pie, that it's still warm. There's 3 pieces of it, and if I want to have it. And I was like, holy shit, I think I got my mouth, there was already some kind of orgasm of that taste, how it is, like you can imagine, freshly baked apple pie, so delicious, what I love eating. And of course I took it, and then I was like, what I'm going to do with that. And then obviously I don't know exactly how many calories. Just after a quick Google search, I was looking that, okay, it's 1 piece was around 80 grams, and apple pie, what I found, 240 calories. So I think it's, or 270, I don't remember, but I was counting that it's more or less 200 calories every piece of that apple pie. So I was like, okay, 150 calories, it's half of that small piece what I can have, or 3/4. But I was like, okay, I, at least very first day I was tasting it a little bit, like but not, I was like, okay, I can't now, in a very first day, I can't break my own rules, that I even, temptation was there, and possibility was there, but I need to keep my promises, what I made for myself. So this is like what I felt like, that 150 calories, it gives freedom. If I'm really hungry after dinner, still it gives me, if I decide, if I choose to eat something what I enjoy, there's a lot of calories. I can have a lot of amount of food if I want, but at the same time I can have something what I enjoy eating. If it's a chocolate, if it's cookies, if it's some taralli. So there is just amounts are going to be so much smaller. But what I love, especially during this kind of challenges, what I do, I love using all kind of protein products, like protein bars instead of chocolate, protein pudding instead of some sweets, as they are relatively low in calories. They have some protein in it. Obviously, they are not never going to be same than if you eat some chicken breast or some other whole food protein source, but it's for sure better option, especially if you're trying to lose fat, than some regular one. So this is how I do my snacking game. And in addition, what I for my protein, as my protein goal, I know that I want to get, my weight is around 90 kilos at the moment, and I want to get minimum 150 grams of protein per day, as it helps me feeling fuller, maintaining my muscle mass when I'm trying to lose fat. So that 150 grams per day, and how I'm going to do it, because my breakfast is every day kind of same. So I'm eating 250 grams of Greek yogurt with some fruits. So usually I have banana, some other seasonal fruits, and then I put a scoop of protein powder. So I have around 50 grams of protein for my breakfast. That's every single day. And what I'm changing is those fruits. They are not, or sometimes there are some berries, depending thing. So that's how I vary it. But Greek yogurt or skyr and protein, natural protein powder without any taste, those are my protein sources for breakfast. And then as a snack after breakfast, before lunch, I'm going to have another snack with at least 20 grams of protein. So it's going to be usually some cottage cheese or another protein shake with some taste. It's I love using Legion's vegan proteins, what I'm drinking, and they are tasting amazing. I love personally those what I'm using, and that is, it's giving me 70 grams of protein before my lunch. So this is another rule what I made for myself, is that it's helping me to eat less at lunch and stay fuller for longer, and to help me to get that protein goal per day. So those are my rules what I made for myself, and we'll see then how results are going. In addition, I'm going to get 10,000 steps but I'm already, that's kind of not even feeling so hard for me, as I was looking my tracking apps, my average activities it's around 15,000 steps. I think last month was even 16,000 steps per day. So I'm pretty active, walking a lot every single day, making at least 30-minute walking in addition for everything. So that is, and then like weekends, longer hikes. So activity levels, they have never been my issue. If you are not getting your steps in, what I always recommend, it's easiest, simplest way to get a little bit more activity and increasing that need, how many calories you are needing. And then in addition, what I'm doing is 3 times strength training per week. So strength training, I'm going to continue with that. And those are kind of my goals, what I'm going to do during this phase. And then other very common question, what I get often is that how you know if you are not tracking accurately, how you know that you are actually in a calorie deficit. So what I made in the beginning and what I recommend for you always as how to measure your progress. So I'm taking my scale weight. But I don't focus too much on those daily values. Instead of I measure myself every day, every morning after being in the toilet, taking my weight, logging it in. And after every week, I take only my average weight. And I don't care about, it's going like I said, the first day lost 1 kilo, maybe next day gaining 2. So you never know how that scale weight is going. What is interesting me is that average weight per week, and that trend should be going down in a longer period of time. And those daily values, they mean close to 0, or they mean 0. Those doesn't matter for fat loss. Then I took also tape measurements. So I have my circumferences from my belly button and hips, arms, legs. So I know that if something is changing, if my body is changing, you are not going to feel it, or you are not seeing difference on the scale, but you are going to then see it in some other way, that you are losing actually body fat. As if your waist is getting smaller, you are losing your inches or centimeters in some other areas. It's a sign that you are losing body fat, even scale might not be moving. Then I took also pictures of myself. So ideally it's against some white wall, and it's just, for me, it's my underwear. So as clothes underwears are great. And that is what I'm going to take then also future. So you have at least some kind of more ways to measure your progress, and not just focusing on that scale weight, as even it's important, but learning to understand that it's only on average, and the trend in longer period of time, it should be going down. And if it's not going, if there is some other ways you see your progress, they are just signs that you are doing everything correctly, and you don't need to change anything. Because what is often happening, what I see a lot from people, is that they are actually making progress. You might be losing tape measurements, you see difference in your pictures, but you still, because scale weight is not moving, what is very common, and you think that you are not making any progress. Then you think that what is the point? And then people end up quitting, even they were actually making progress. Or then other thing, what very common is that what kind of expectations you have. So you see in social media that some people, they are losing 10 kilos in a month or something, and then you think that if you can't match or win the fastest loser who is losing, you are not even close to that. You are losing 1 kilo or 2 kilo, which is a great fat loss progress. Then you think that it's way too slow, and you are trying to kind of speed up the process, and that is leading for using unsustainable methods, and it always end up that you end up quitting. And that's why when you have realistic expectations, so what is for fat loss, for example, it's 2 kilos if you are minus 500 deficit on average per month. It could be that you lose within first month, you might lose 4 or 5 kilos. And then for next month, you maintain your lost weight, and you are still in a very good average fat loss progress. So this is something what you have to keep in mind, that it should not be too much. It should not be faster. And weight loss, fat loss, those are two different things. So how then I know that I'm actually in a deficit if I'm not tracking my calories? So for me, very good way to know it's that I feel a little bit hunger late at night when I'm going to bed, so that I'm not completely full. It's not that I'm starving, but that my stomach is a little bit crawling. like yesterday, I was probably a little bit overdoing it as I was already at night. I woke up when my stomach was crawling and I was like, oh shit, now maybe it was a bit too less, but obviously it was the first day and this will probably change during the time. So you don't need to feel hungry, especially if you are eating foods. Like I said, if I would have my 150 calories, if I would get 200 grams of low-fat Greek yogurt and 300 grams strawberries, I'm pretty sure my stomach wouldn't be crawling. So it doesn't mean, but I know that in most cases, when I'm going to bed, I'm not going to be totally full. So it's that kind of little feeling in my stomach that it's a little hunger, but not any starving. So you don't need to starve to know that you are actually in a calorie deficit, but that kind of little crawling in your belly, and you know that this now, or as a fact, now you are in a deficit. Obviously, if you have been doing this deficit thing and dieting thing for longer, your hunger hormones might be a little bit out of balance and you might not have these hunger feelings anymore. But for me, as I haven't been doing this lately or for a long time, I know for a fact that this is going to be a sign for calorie deficit. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested to know what I'm doing every day, how my progress is going, check out my Instagram stories as I'm sharing all these things and answering all your questions. If you have any questions, just feel free to DM me in Instagram. And obviously, if you need any help with that implementation part, creating plan for you, having somebody to keep you accountable, you can always apply for my coaching. There are links in my social media profiles. And then it's just filling application. I will contact you and then we will chat if we are good fix, good match to work together. But that was what my plans are, and hopefully it was helpful. So thank you for listening and talk to you soon.
Hold up, friend. Do you love FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast.